So, Cobb, like, what actually made you? When did you start YouTube? That's a good question.
So I was kind of uploading radio content, but I wasn't really doing it as a YouTube channel. It was just somewhere to put footage, essentially. I was using it basically as an archive. And then the actual story behind why I started the channel was because of lockdown. We had to shut down the radio station, basically, because obviously it's a very close environment. Like, studios in general are just very kind of close, not the tidiest or cleanest of environments. They never are, because of how much soundproofing and stuff there is, how dusty stuff gets. It's just not the cleanest of environments ever. And we and we thought that with that we could close it down and everyone would be okay, basically. And obviously we were away for about 6 months. And on the Sunday before the first Monday of lockdown, I left on the Friday and said, look, we need to shut this down because otherwise everyone's just going to get ill, and we can't have presenters getting ill in this sort of scenario. So I basically went home and sort of went, right, I'm off work for the time being. I don't know what I'm going to do. And then I basically had the channel there, and it had like 20 subscribers or something stupid like that. And then I went, cool, I've got all the equipment at home. Like, I've got a mic, I've got a mixing desk, I've got a camera that I can use, and I can find out a way of making it work as a webcam. I used to have my DSLR show a preview on screen, and I used to screen record the preview. That's what I was doing at first before I started understanding how cameras work. But I went into it basically being like, well, I can run my show from home. I'll just do my show every morning. It'll give me something to do. Like, I'm self-employed, so I'm getting my grants and stuff, so it's fine. But I need something to do, so I basically started streaming every morning from 10 to 11:30, and just did the breakfast show then, and basically started getting guests on for interviews, and I was just doing phone calls every day. I had 2 guests on every day from like different sounds and genres. Had people like Plastician coming on, like quite like big established names in their sort of scenes, and it was good fun. And I just did that for ages, and then after about 4 weeks of that, I reacted to an AJ Tracy tune, which I quite liked, and I was like, fuck it, I've got a channel, I may as well try things. And then it just grew from there and grew from there and grew from there. And then, yeah, it's always the race to, it was the point at the start was to get to 100 subs so I could rename the channel. And then it was, I want to get to 1,000 so I can get monetized and do like interview content and see where that goes. And then obviously off the back of that, it's all just kind of grown. It's been very, very fun.
So how have you got to 40k? What do you think is the magic formula? What's the magic formula?
Not much
What do
sleep.
you think?
Not much sleep. I don't leave this chair. This sort of setting, people think I might just record it. This is the only place I ever am. Like, like realistically, like, I don't tend to go out much in the week, unless I'm celebrating something. But literally, of an evening, I'll usually just be in this chair looking for stuff to record about. Because what I've always kind of found is I enjoy it. And occasionally, if you're in the mud or whatever, like, filming can be long. Like, filming is probably the longest part about... Actually, making the content is the longest part about YouTube, in my honest opinion. But, I don't know, I find that I've got quite a quick process. So, with me, it's all about, like, templates and streamlining and making stuff quicker. Like, once you've got a logo, you don't need to make the logo again. So, you can just use it and find a way of... like, little things like that. Obviously, when we've all recorded together, like, I always try to come up with ways of making things quicker so we don't have to spend hours editing or... I like getting stuff done in one kind of go. So, yeah, that's always been my thing, man. It's grown as much as it has because I don't spend much time doing stuff that I don't feel is necessary and stuff you can save time with. So it looks like there's tons of content. And there is tons of content, but there isn't like hours and hours and hours going into making the content. The content basically makes itself. And it's something I always try to teach presenters when I was training them at radio. The best content you can make is self-replicating content. Stuff you can continuously put out regardless of whether stuff happens or not. And we used to do it with radio segments a lot of the time when I was training people. I used to be like, come up with a radio idea that you know you're going to be able to do every single time you're on air. And one girl called Mia, she came up with this idea of doing called Ride on Time, and basically they would go through artist riders and you have to guess who the artist was based on their rider. But think about how many artists have artist riders. You could do that indefinitely. Like, there's always going to be more people to do it with. Like, I did Marvel Watch on my show, which was literally two minutes talking about what's happening in Marvel at the moment. I did that because there was always news every day, like sports stuff as well. There's always sports news. And I've always said that's the best kind of way to make content, keeping stuff replicatable so you can always go back and do more. And that's what I've tried to do with the channel, basically. Just make it so it's content that I know I'm going to be able to post about every single day. There we go. Thanks for coming to the TED Talk.
I know that. I know we all... I mean, one thing that we all agree on is that your work rate is mad and you don't sort of have a day off. It never seems like you have a day off or a week off or anything like that. And we all know how tough it can be. So I think we all need to just give you a clap.
Yes.
This
feels so narcissistic. I love it.
No, not. Do you know what it is? You actually just need to big yourself up because YouTube isn't easy, right? And content creation is not easy. And to stay consistent and like put out content all the time, the effort that goes into it, you always have to be in the mood to do it. So honestly, you should really reward yourself. You're at 40K. Do you know that's twice the size of O2 Arena? You know.
That's mad. It's big. I looked the other day. It's bigger. There's only 7 football stadiums, I think, in the country that are bigger than that.
Yeah.
Which is mad, isn't it? It's mad. That's very mad. I don't know how it's happened. I really, really don't. Viv, you tell me how it's happened. You're on like over 50 now. You tell me how this happened.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Do you know what it is? I think all I can actually ever advise people is just be yourself. Because if you have to make content every single day, you're gonna be bored if you have to keep putting on a facade. Like, you have to just be yourself and make content about something that you really love and are passionate about. Because if you want to grow your platform and actually do it properly, like, this is something you're going to be doing every day. You're going to be talking to your fans about every day. You're going to read Twitter feeds about every day. Like, it has to be something you genuinely wake up and feel like, cool, this is something I want to do.
It's been kind of mad for the last... Obviously, I left my radio position a few weeks ago, and I've purposefully taken like a month off before I go and do something else. I've been waking up and making videos, and that's been my day. And I'm kind of like, I really want to get to a point where this is all I have to do, because I love the idea of waking up, making 2 or 3 videos, making some food, then looking around for more videos to make and planning out. Like, I'm staying up till like 2, 3 in the morning making thumbnails to record the next day, because I'm like, I can actually plan my entire day around videos now, and I definitely want to get to a point where this could be full time. That's definitely the sort of plan for me, that this becomes the full time thing.
So someone in the chat, Mac, said, Cub's my favourite reactor. I pay deep attention to your reviews. Thanks for everything you do for Afrobeats. 2 million subscribers are ringing.
That's mad. That's really nice of you, Mac. Thank you for watching the videos, man. That's like, I don't know if you guys get it as well, but when you upload a video and you see like 10 people have watched it, do you ever deep how mad that is? There are 10 people in the world that have had an interest in what you're doing at that moment in time, and then it goes to 20, and then 30, and then 40, then suddenly it's on like 500, and you're like, what? That's mental. It's actually mental.
What is the most viewed video you have on your channel?
I think I've got one that's 125k, which is Kwaku the Traveller from Black Sheriff. Big up the Black Sheriff fans, man. They're awesome. They are awesome.
Yeah.
They always like proper push videos as well, which is good to see. And then I've got a Burna Boy one that's on 72 from his Madison Square Gardens performance. All of my top apart from one video, all of my top 20 have happened in the last 6 months. So that's kind of cool.
Sounding so good right now. But they're sounding a bright and town.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, Cubcamtv. Stay locked.